It's time to take a look and see where players are spending their money on the reserve list. With so many Magic players not spending money on any of the new products, it should come as no surprise that sales on the reserve list are starting to pick up. When you don't have faith in what Wizards of the Coast is producing for new products, you go to the blue chip, which is reserve list spending. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for stopping by and hanging out with me on the channel today as we go over the reserve list Hot 10. That's right, your top 10 selling cards on the reserve list this week by volume. Not always the most expensive cards make it here, of course, but the sheer volume sales that I can count in any given week. And this week is a very interesting week indeed, because there's some cards on here that I did not expect to ever make it on the list, but they're here today and they're showing off. So let's get this party started. We're going down the yellow brick road. We're trying to get to Oz. We're going to start at number 10. We're going to end at number 1. And somewhere along the way, I'm probably going to mention about Soldevi Excavations. Let's check things out. Our first card taking the number 10 slot is Savannah Revised Edition with 35 sales this week. An average price tag of $354.60 US for a near mint copy. The market price is $343.78. €221.53 will get that card into your house. And let's not forget that here in Canada, this card's going to run you about $450 Canadian for a gem mint, near mint, perfect mint, however you want to say it, a perfect condition card. Now the sales I want to mention of what's happening, and not just with Savannah. A lot of honorable mention this week for Badlands, Scrublands, Taiga, Underground Sea almost made the list again. The volume of sales we're seeing with revised dual lands is really stunning. It's kind of breathtaking to watch this many people buy the cards when you're seeing about $100,000 a week in dual lands moving back and forth in products, and stores not having copies for sale right now. This is kind of crazy. I mean, they have unlimited copies. They got some beta, some fancy bling that cost thousands and thousands of dollars. But the played copies, the heavily played, the lightly played, and the near mints are all disappearing from local LGS level, and it's ending up in some private hands. A lot of consolidation on the reserve list right now when it comes to dual lands. Keep your eyes out on this, guys. I've made mention a few times, but I'm noticing just how dry the well is running right now until some new stock comes around. Let's go ahead and take a look at the number 9 card, and that is Grim Monolith from Urza's Legacy. 40 sales this week, and I don't believe this card's been on the list for over a year and a half. Now, the average price tag for this card is $279.40. The market price is $255.67 US. A foil. Remember, these are original foils, guys. OG foils. $2,929.49. And if you were overseas, this would be €160.86 to get this card into your house. Guys, cards like this, they usually just don't make the list. They never have a high enough sales volume to get on the list, so it's kind of interesting to see a card like this make it. There are some great infinite mana combos. There's crazy stuff you can do with the card. The artwork is amazing. Way to go, Chippy. But I'm looking at this stuff saying, wow, there was enough sales. The price had hit that kind of price point, especially for moderate and heavily played copies that players just want for their EDH commander decks. This is finally becoming a more obtainable card, where you can just kind of say, hey, I don't like any of the new products coming out. I guess I can just go ahead. Like, Aftermath looks like it's just going to be a bloodbath of junk. I'm just going to go ahead and buy this. I'm just going to buy this card. I'm going to skip a box and just buy the Grim Monolith. That's where players are going right now, guys. Keep it in mind. Now, the number 8 card this week is Triangle of War from Visions with 44 sales this week. This card has an average price tag of $4.92 US, a market price of $3.65 US, or €2.25 to get this card into your house. It's around $6 here in Canada. And of course, the Triangle of War is a fun card. We did a mini buyout a few weeks back on the channel, and consistently since then, it's been selling between 50 and 60 copies a week. It's just starting to slow down now. Great card, a lot of fun, and has a lot of uses out there when you want to make some good action fun inside of a commander deck, and nobody can stop you from fighting creature to creature. All right, guys, the number 7 card, and I've talked about this till I'm blue in the face. This is Didgeridoo from Homelands. Finally, the average price is over that $20 mark. It is $20.24 US. $17.26 is the market price, €14 58 cents to get this card into your home, and it's got 49 sales. It's kind of plateauing though. I can see the sales dwindling off. There's not as many copies out there that are available. But the Didgeridoo as a one generic, and the fact it can just put Minotaurs into play at the end of opponents' turns, and the fact we're going to get more Minotaurs sooner or later, means every player should own one. There are like, what, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of copies of this card in existence, but that was 30 years ago. So when you're looking about how many cards might be around now, cut that number down to 25%. And how many players already have consolidated positions in this card, cut it down to 15%. Of those cards that are available of the 15%, how many are near mint? Cut that. It goes on and on, guys. There's not a lot left. It always seems like there's a lot until there's not. And that's what players get stuck sometimes. They go, I thought it would be cheaper. I thought the price would go down. I thought it would be available, Mox, man. Like, what happened? Let's check out number 6, because that card, Didgeridoo, people should already own a copy right now. All right, the Trading Post from Alliance is 50 sales this week with an average price of $5.87 US. The market price is only $5.17, €3.82 to get this card into your house, $8 here in Canada. Now, what I like about the Trading Post, and it is a card I buy each and every month at the end of the month. I buy it from TCG Player, and yes, I use my own affiliate link, and I hope you guys are too. For any cards you're purchasing, look at the description of any of my videos, and of course, we've got the affiliate link right there. You click that link, it takes you to TCG Player. Anything you buy, the Moxman gets a 3.5% kickback, and I appreciate everyone who takes the time to do it. Now let's get back to the Trading Post. There, I shilled for myself. Hopefully I made a few bucks. When the Trading Post comes into play, sacrifice an untapped mountain or bury the Trading Post. Add 1 red and 1 other to your mana pool. That's kind of nice right now. The thing taps for 2 mana. Cool. But you can also tap 1 generic and the Trading Post, and it deals 1 damage to target attacking creature. Didn't say it had to be one particular guy. It could be yours, it could be opponents, it could be whatever it needs to be, and that's awesome. A little bit of political trickery can happen in the least expected ways when you're playing a Commander game, because nobody expects you to play with this card. Throw it into a mono red deck, it'll have some fun. Number 5 this week, Willow Priestess, and for good reason. 57 sales this week from Homelands. This card has an average price of $5.40 US. You got a market price of $4.74 US, $3.27 to get this card into your house. But look at this, guys. This card, we're going back to Eldraine. We already have some green-blue fairies out there. And this is going to be no different. And yes, obviously I sized this card entirely wrong. I'm going to fix it on the fly so you guys can see it. Look at that. Look at the Moxman just like making, taking lemons. We're making lemonade. That's what we're going to do today. That's what happens on an early Sunday morning when it's like 4 in the morning and you got to get a video out. That's how we roll. So we check out the Willow Priestess. I don't care about the 2/2. I care about the tapping ability. I also don't mind the generic ability below where it's just 1 green, 2 other, and you can give something protection from black. Kind of nice, okay? But taking fairies from your hand and putting it directly into play, like fairy formation, stuff like that, a lot of fun. And there's going to be bigger fairies coming. There's fairy dragons. Who knows where we'll go with this? But just like Didgeridoo, you should own a copy. If you're going to do anything with fairies, own at least 1 copy in case. The in case clause. Great card. Number 4 this week. That's right, the Harbinger of Night. I did mention this earlier in the week on my card watch video, and it looks like a lot of you guys took that to heart and said, you know what, he's right. What's $8 for a playset of 4 near mint? So this card has an average price tag of $3.20 US, the market price of $2.61 US. And of course, it's €3.76 to get this card into your house, $5 here in Canada. As an old card from Mirage, remember, cards like this, they don't make them anymore. They just don't exist. But when you look at things that give -1/-1 counters, and the fact there's ways of dredging this guy back, even if he dies, it's an amazing thing, okay? It's an amazing thing to see. So a card like this really shouldn't be ignored for a little bit of fun and a little bit of a few builds you might be thinking of where you want to put counters on things with the Ozolith and stuff. Great card. Love to have it. And at that price tag, everyone should actually own a playset of 4 in this case. It's just too cheap not to. The downside is minimal. The upside is huge, okay? All right, number 3 this week, Conch Horn, hanging in there from Fallen Empires, 67 sales this week. And again, it's a card you probably should own at least 4. It's very inexpensive still, $5.24, but it's been as high as $18. Okay, the market price is $4.70, €3.69 to get this card into your house. But remember, the Conch Horn acts like a brainstorm, except for it's generic. It goes into any deck, any build, anytime. 2 generic, Conch Horn, 1 tap, sacrifice the Conch Horn, draw 2 cards. then put any one card from your hand back on top of your library. You can be very strategic with cards like this, and it's a card, again, that goes anywhere you want to go, man. It's like the Roomba. It just finds a space, it can start getting you there, and that's what you care about. Love that card. All right, guys, you've waited. We've gone down the yellow brick road all the way down to number 3. We're now going to the number 2 card, and that is Spirit Shield. Fallen Empires, this card's worthless but fun. Okay, early form of equipment. Now, 89 sales this week means really, somebody spent $89 and they got 89 copies. Okay, in some cases, this card goes for 30 cents on TCG Player. So if you want to have fun on the reserve list, this is definitely a card you can have fun with. Taking a closer look at this card. Again, obviously there's sizing issues in my life where I just don't realize what's happening. But you look, see that? Lemonade. It is a 3 casting cost generic artifact, 2 and tap. Target creature gets +0/+2 for as long as the Spirit Shield remains tapped, and you can choose not to untap it. So it's interesting in the fact it gives a little bit of a buffer to a creature. It is an early form of equipment, basically, without the equip. They're just missing the equip piece. Equip. It's just missing that piece. You know what, get some tacos, call it a day. Guys, very interesting to see this card sell. I do love the artwork, but still, I understand this card's not going to be the most highly, versatile card to play in a deck. But you know what? Artwork speaks for itself. It's great. All right, you've waited all this time. We've made it. You've hung out with me. We've talked about nachos and cheese. We've talked about Roombas, maybe Army of Darkness, and you can never forget Soldevi Excavations. But no, Soldevi didn't even make the list this week. It's not the number 1 card. Instead, you've got Retribution of the Meek coming in at number 1, and it is well deserved. Take a closer look, guys. 124 sales this week. Average price just over $10 because of all the sales that happened this week. $10.24. Market price $8.32. €6.55 to get this card into your house. 1 white, 2 other sorcery from Visions. Bury all creatures with power 4 or greater. If you build a low-level deck and you can eliminate the big bad boy creatures, cards like this are just amazing to have, okay? This card deserves to be here. I can't believe it's been ignored this long, and now some people recognized how cheap it was, and they said, yeah, why wouldn't I own the copies of this? It's going to go in any white deck I build, of course, and it should. You may not need it, but it's always good to have, the big cannon ready just to obliterate the battlefield when things don't go your way. So this was your Hot 10. These were the top 10 selling cards on the reserve list this week. That top 10 is awesome. Yes, I'm sorry Soldevi Excavations didn't make the list. The excavators, I guess, didn't dig fast enough. They didn't tie their shoelaces. They forgot to bring their little front pull to pick things up. I don't know what it was. It just didn't work out. Not in the cards. But you know what? There's always next week. And of course, I'll see you guys tonight for the live stream. I'll see you guys then, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. This is that moment in time where I get to say a big shout out and thank you to the fantastic supporters of my channel. This channel is totally funded by the people who view it, my YouTube membership members, my amazing patrons. Thanks again, everyone. Why? Soldevi didn't make the list? What is going on, people? How can we allow that to happen, where Soldevi Excavations doesn't make the list? It didn't make the list? I'm going to have to sell my soul to the Necronomicon and rectify the situation. I tried to stay serious and I couldn't pull it off. Guys, have a great day. Don't forget to bring a friend to Magic. And thanks for hanging out at the end with me. Thanks for hanging out at the end where things are just going perfectly in the world. This is the part we get to ramble. Have a great one, guys. I'll see you on the live stream.